Oh, hi guys. Now I recorded this with video, but the video cut out really quickly, so you're just gonna have to enjoy the video without it. I'm sorry. Thank you for enduring without the camera. So I'll see you in the video. Hey guys, my name is Tim, and today we're going to be doing a free personality test. I saw a few other YouTubers do this, and I really wanted to do this, so let's get right into this. Okay, let's see what the specifics of this is. Takes less than 12 minutes. Okay, I'm good with a 12-minute video. Answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer. Okay, I can do that. Try not to leave any neutral answers. Can't promise that, but I'll try my best. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. I used to, but I really practiced, and, I used to do musical theater, so getting to know new people was something that I had to get used to. So, I've actually gotten really good at introducing myself to other people, and I don't find it that difficult. It's continuing a conversation after the hello that makes it a problem. So, I don't find it difficult to introduce myself to others. You often get lost in thoughts, you ignore and forget. Yes, I do that all the time. I usually get caught up in something like, I don't know, I'll get caught up in the middle of a thought process, and people will be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm looking out into space and like, and I'm just thinking of something random, and they're like, "Okay." You try to respond. No. I have like 126 emails in my mailbox from everything. So, no, I have a horribly messy inbox. If you want to get in contact with me, it better be by something other than email, or I'm never going to respond. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused? Yes. Actually, wait. Kind of. I'm usually really good in stressful situations. I'm a laid-back person, so in stressful situations, I'm just like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens, because I'm Christian and I believe in a God. Even if you don't, I believe in God, so even if you don't, that doesn't matter, but it just gives a great sense of ease and center when I know no matter what happens, I don't have to worry about it. It's just whatever happens. So that's kind of how I think of it. So staying relaxed you find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there's some pressure? Yeah. Maybe not the focus part, but relaxed, yeah. I'm usually good at staying relaxed. You do not usually initiate conversations? Yes. I'm not someone who's going to go ahead and be like, "Hi guys, I'm Tim." That's not usually me. I mean, yeah, I do it on YouTube and stuff, but initiating conversations is not something I like to do. I'm an introvert, so it doesn't really go with me. You rarely do something just out of sheer I do stuff out of curiosity all the time. Oh. No, I do stuff out of curiosity all the time. I'll be in a game and I'll be like, "Oh, you know what does this do?" And I'll just go off and do it, and I'll just completely forget everything. You feel superior to other people? Absolutely not. No. I don't think I'm here, because I don't think I'm superior to other people, but sometimes everyone gets that little subconscious thing that you're a little bit better, you can do better at this, or you are better at that, and that always comes in my head. I'm like, I'm better at video games than my friend Eric. It's like, I don't necessarily need to feel superior about that, but I do sometimes, and it's a jerkbag move to do, so, not great, but something that I do. Being organized. So I want to be here, but I'm more likely here, so I'm going to put it here. Being organized is more important than being, no, I suck at organization. Organization's not my thing. Organized, adaptable, importance. And I'm going to have to go with, like, here. Just because being organized is important, but being adaptable is also important. They're both equally important, and I would put myself here, but I'm actually more on the adaptable side than organized. No, not at all. I'm usually a bag of just sadness and just tiredness, and I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated to do much. Like, I like doing YouTube videos, but even those I do like once a week, so being highly energetic and motivated, no, I'm actually quite downtrodden and just quiet less motivated. It sucks too, because for those of you who know what it's like to not be motivated, it's like you don't get stuff done like you want to. It's not nice. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. No, actually. Actually, no. I don't like debates, because debate sounds like argument, and I don't think of arguments as accomplishing a whole lot. Because, yeah, you could say, hey, I'm right, but what's the point? The other person's not gonna believe you. You're doing, what was the definition of insanity? Repeating a task that comes with the same result. So, I think that was one of the definitions of insanity. Probably there are more, but that's the one that is the one that you hear going around. So, I mean, it doesn't accomplish a whole lot. You're not gonna argue. Yeah, you might win something, or I don't know, you might get a prize at a debaters club, but you're not going to change anyone's heart or anyone's mind by being bombastic and arguing. That's just how I see arguments. They don't seem like something. I mean, I argue with people. I'm not saying I don't do that. I just don't, like, do it often. And I don't appreciate arguments. I prefer thinking of differing a conflict or a contrast in ideas do not require an argument, but a discussion, because a discussion means that both parts of that are equally talking, and you know, even if they disagree with each other, they still have respect for each other, and they say, okay, I know what you believe, and I know what I believe. If we can't get into an agreement, it's not like, oh, I hate you because I don't get to an agreement. It's like, we can still be who we are to each other and in ourselves without any reason to be, like, extremely angry at each other. It's like, there's no point in that. That's not what I believe to do as far as God and the Bible arguing. I mean, whatever, but yeah, let's continue. this 12-minute test just turned into a bit longer. You often feel as if you have to justify yourselves to other people. Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Now, it's not that I have to justify myself so much, but I usually have to... No, I just usually have to justify things to myself. No, it's not that I have to justify, it's usually that I want some credit for stuff. Just subconsciously, I feel more ignored than everyone else. Just because I'm that little person in the corner that doesn't get any appreciation for anything special they do. I don't. I could do something and I get very little appreciation for it. That's just how I feel, and that's just how things go with me, so I'm always wanting that. But justifying myself to other people? Yeah, actually. I do justify myself to other people, but not because I have to, but because I want them to see what I'm doing. So, have to feel? No. Want to? Yes. Have to? No. No one has to. They don't have to be there's no justification in other people. For me. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Right now, yeah, quite tidy, because, well, we're moving. But normally, this room would be a tornado. It is pretty bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put, no. They're always a mess. Always a mess. You do not mind being at the center of attention. Yes and no. Like, again, back to, I did musical theater, so being in the center of attention, actually, no. I would always be ensemble, so I was never really the center of attention. I've only been the center of attention for small periods of time. But, I mean, it depends. If it's a big group of people, and there's no one, like, defined to be the center of attention, I'm not going to draw attention to myself. I mean, being the center of attention isn't that big of a deal either. Because usually if you're at the center of attention, you have something to say, or something to do. So long as I have something to say or do, or I have some idea of what to do, I don't mind. It's being at the center of attention, everyone looking at you, and you having no idea what you're doing. That's the worst. So, I mean, I have some pre-ideas, so being at the center of attention, I'm okay with it. Being in big groups for long periods of time, on the other hand, you know, I'm an introvert, so that doesn't really work for me. You consider yourself more practical than creative? Absolutely. I have very few creative bones in my body. I'm more of a practical person myself. Yeah, I'm just not a creative person. Ask anyone. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit creative. Tiny bit. I have a creative imagination, does that count? But I'm more practical than creative. If it's like a game or something, it's gonna be like, it could be, you know, build a base that does everything and has very little space, or build a huge base that does everything in like a large amount of space. I'm gonna go for the small base, because, especially if it's mobile, then it's more practical, because you can get places, you can go get where you're going. So think of it as a big house versus a mobile home. I mean, I like a big house, but so long as the mobile home does everything I need it to, I'll live in the mobile home. But this would be a pretty tricked out mobile home if I were living in it, just saying. People can really upset you. Yes, actually, people don't really upset me. When it's my friends, they upset me. Like, people who I trust, who I've called my friend, I have very few friends. Like, personally, very few friends. Because as far as I can understand, my standard of friend is ridiculously high. I see people who have like 1,000 friends on Facebook that they barely know. A friend to me might be a best friend to you, because a friend to me is someone that I can talk to and that I trust, that I can share everything about myself with, and that I'm comfortable around. Otherwise, you're just an acquaintance. That's basically it, or you're at like sub-friend level. Not to offend any of you, but I mean, unless I feel comfortable telling you who I am, you're not my friend. If I feel like I can tell you who I am and you're going to still like me, then you're my friend. That's basically what it is. People can really upset you. But if someone like betrays me, that really upsets me. But otherwise, if it's just some random person like trying to upset me, I'm like, I mean, okay, I'm very calm. Even on the road, people are like swerving and cut in front of me. I mean, I'll make a comment, but I'm not gonna get really upset about it. I'm not a road rage person. Your travel plans are usually well thought. No. Well, actually, kinda, yeah. I wouldn't plan them out very well, but the way that I've been raised is, you know, leave early enough to get there early, and I always make sure I have everything with me, so I actually have pretty well thought out travel plans. I mean, once I get there, it's like, I'll do whatever the frick they're supposed to do, but getting there and getting back are usually the plans I have. I have them uptight, so I'm gonna put them here. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. Absolutely not. I am empathetic out the wazoo, dude. I mean, I don't care who you are, I can put myself in your shoes. Even just slightly, to the point where I will cry for you. But, well, maybe not that bad, but or maybe not that good, but still, I'm easily empathetic. It's something that I sometimes turn off in public, because if I try to be too empathetic, I might become an emotional wreck in front of everyone, so it's more of like, I have to turn it off as opposed to turning it on. Like, that's how it is. Your mood can, yes, my mood can change very quickly. Usually it goes from like extremely happy to extremely sad, or yeah, that's mostly it. I usually go from either happy or sad, or angry or to sad, or pretty much any emotion right to sad very quickly. So yeah, that's something that can change very quickly in me. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. I mean, you can tell by my constipated face, it's like, the way I think of it is, truth should be more important, but sensitivities are important as well. It's along the lines of, if you're talking to someone, you should talk to someone like you love them. Not like romantically love them, but imagine they're like your brother or sister and you actually want to talk to them. You should talk to people, if you're telling them the truth, like you're telling them the truth in a way that says, I still love you, even though I think you're wrong, or know you're wrong. So people's sensitivities are important, but lying for people's sensitivities is not something I'm gonna do. It's not something that I should do, and not that I plan on doing or that I want to do. So, truth is more important, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean you have to deliver the truth in a way that hurts people's feelings. Purple's feelings. Purple's important too, guys. Okay, in a discussion truth. So I'm gonna have to put myself here, because people's sensitivities are important to me. And the way I tell people things are important to me. Well, kind of. People's sensitivities are important to me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to compromise the truth for those sensitivities. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. That's not true. I worry about how my actions affect other people a lot. Like, anytime... Never mind, I'm not gonna go down that road. Anytime I've thought of something, I'm like, okay, how is this gonna affect someone else? Like, if I'm... well, maybe here, because I've noticed recently that oftentimes, especially more recently, I'm getting more towards this, but I found out that I don't worry about as my actions affect other people nearly as much as I thought. Because, I mean, just the other night, I was, like, just grumpy, and I was just being grumpy, and that was affecting everyone. It was, like, everyone noticed, and I wasn't being sensitive to it at all by trying to increase my mood or changing it, but I should have, or at least I could have, but I was in a bad mood. And I'd already used all of my social energy earlier that day, so I was like, all of my faking skills for being happy are out the window, so it's just the actual sad Tim that's there. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than a yes, absolutely. I have no methodical approach. It's mostly random energy spikes. It's like, okay, I can get a ton of work done right now, that's what I'm gonna do. Or it's like, that's mostly how it is. But I'm gonna put myself here, because when I have to do my courses that are like heavy work and heavy reading, it is a more methodical thing, because if I go on my random energy spikes, I never get anything accomplished in those courses, so I have to be, even though it's not how I am usually, that's how it works. No, I'm not envious of others. Maybe here. Like, I can be envious of others sometimes, but it's never gonna be something like, oh, I want what you want, or I wish I was this person. I used to be like that, but I've changed. I've realized how blessed I am as a person, and I wouldn't want to change who I am and how I've been grown to be, and by God and by my parents and everything. I mean, yeah, there are things that other people have that I don't, and I think it'd be cool to have those things, but I'm not like I'd rather be you, or I'd rather steal that or take that so that I can have it. No. If someone else has it, yeah, I'd like to have it too, but I'm gonna try to be happy for the person who does have it, as opposed to wanting it and saying how much I want it. I'm gonna be like, congratulations that you have it, even if I don't. That's how I want to be. An interesting book or video game, yes. I'd rather stay home all the time, play video games, than go to a social event. I mean, there's prom coming up in May. I'm a junior now, and there's a homeschooler prom, which, by the way, I'm a homeschooler, if you didn't already know that. So there's a homeschooler prom coming up, and I'll be like, I'll go, but I'd rather stay home, or I might stay home and play video games instead. Like, that's just what I would prefer. But, it's a twice in a lifetime kind of thing, so I'm gonna go to the prom anyway. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Improvisation is important too. Being able to have an idea and be like, okay, I gotta switch it up here. Like, having an important plan, develop a plan and sticking to it is good, but being able to improvise is also important. So I'm gonna put myself here. I like plans, and I agree with them, and sticking to them are important. But having improvisation is also important. So, next question. 40 through, and I have no idea how long we've been recording. I hope this records, because I've actually liked what I've talked about so far. No, I get carried away all the time by fantasies and ideas. I'll spend so much time in a fantasy world sometimes that I'll just completely get carried away by them. You often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. That's actually, I don't walk in nature a whole lot because I'm an inside gamer person, and I don't live in nature either, which is odd because the new house that I was talking about I'm moving into actually has like a big forest for a backyard, and that's going to be the first time I've had a forest for a backyard, because right now, and all my previous houses that I've been at, have like cut lawns and stuff. Going into a forest is something I've seen at other houses, not mine, so I'm going to see if that's something that happens, but oftentimes, when I'm like camping and stuff, I try to stay inside. I don't walk. It's not a thing that I like to do, especially since camping in the summer. I hate the heat, so being as close to the closest AC source is my life when I'm camping. Oh yeah, and I go camping sometimes. Rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Wait, no, I get carried. You know. Sometimes I get carried away by fantasies and stuff, but getting carried away, I pay more attention to my surroundings when I'm in nature, because I want to know where I am, what's around me, and if I don't know where I am and what's around me, I'm in trouble because I don't know what's going to be around me. So I'm focusing more on dangers, my footing, and what's around me. That's what I do when I'm in nature. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying, email, no. Because I never check my email, so if someone responds to email quickly, it's like, I don't know, did it happen? But change the word email there to like Skype or instant message, then yeah, I'll be a little bit concerned. I mean, that's a problem that I have. I'll be like, oh crap, they didn't respond quickly. I'm not gonna hound them for information. I'm not gonna be like, what did I do? 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 Because spamming is annoying, and that just makes people angry. So, if someone doesn't respond to me quickly, or at all, I'll be like, I'll worry if someone said something wrong, that I said something wrong, because usually if I'm messaging someone, they're my friend, and I don't want them to be upset at me. So, yeah, I'll worry if I said something wrong, or if I did something wrong, or if they don't care, but I have very few friends, so that's something that I'd worry about. It's like a kid and their parents. You know, one of the kids' biggest fears is losing their parents, losing their emotional support and their financial support, and all of a sudden having to deal with stuff like that. Yeah, you worry about losing your parents. It's kind of like that. I worry about losing my friends because I lose my emotional support. They're my support group, so if I lose them, I don't have much. So, yeah, I worry. I worry a lot. But I'm not gonna let it affect me that much. No, it affects me a lot. It affects me a lot when people don't respond. I don't blame it on someone if they're busy, and I don't blame it on them. I don't say, hey, it's your fault that you didn't respond, or somehow be angry at them for that reason. It's just something that I worry about. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Kindness can get you a lot of places, and so can smarts, but if you're a smart jerk, I'm not gonna want to hang with you, whether you're my kid or not. But that doesn't mean I want my kid to be stupid, so I'd rather him be somewhere in the middle. Not necessarily kind to the point where self-sacrifice is their middle name, because, that's good and all, but that can get them hurt, and I don't want to see a kid hurt. So, kind and smart, I want them to have the mixture. So actually, I don't know, I might have to go neutral on this, because I want them to see... No, neutral means that I don't care. I'd rather see them kind, a little bit. A little bit more kind than smart. Not that I'm not... but either way, I love them, but I'd just rather have a more kind child than a jerk smart child. You do not let other people influence your actions. I'm gonna have to go here, because I do let other people influence my actions. Actually, here. A little bit too much sometimes. But not on the important stuff. Wait, yes, on the important stuff. Yeah, I let people interfere with my reactions a lot. influence my actions. When I'm around in social situations, they interfere with my actions a lot, which is annoying. And I don't like that. I need to become more outgoing in that, but I'm working on it, so we'll see. Your dreams tend to focus in the real world. I don't have a whole lot of dreams. I'm not a really big dream person, and when I do dream, which is rarely, I dream about the most random stuff that you could imagine. It's like, this one time I had a dream that there were like 9 levels of clouds, which there are, but I was on the top level and I was working my way down, and it's like giant stairs and I'm a tiny little person. So I jumped from the top level, which I don't remember what it was, and I remember jumping down into this, does anyone remember number 9? That little person that split his soul into 9 parts, into 9 little puppets, and there were robots and stuff, and it was a really weird movie. So I jumped into that, and there were, instead of robots, trolls from, I don't know, it was this weird goofy troll that was really scary to me. Think of it like the old cartoon Hobbit troll, one of those guys, one of those big guys. So one of those guys, along with the number 9 guy who had the lamp on his head in the library thing, and I was under the car with me and some other people, and I had to run away from this. I was hiding underneath the car, so I was very small, hiding underneath an overturned car, and a troll picks up the car and like lifts it away. So I run and I jump and I fall onto this grass into my backyard. And in my backyard I'm tiny, and there are a bunch of commandos there for some reason. And then I look into the grass, and the grass is biotic. The grass is fake. It's all metal grass, and underneath the grass is this thin membrane, and then a bunch of like blue Tron stuff, like computer and stuff. It's weird. And then I remember robots attacking, and then I woke up, I think. At least I think that's what happened. Oh yeah, I remember like an electric snake jumping out of the ground and attacking my face. And then I woke up. Yeah, that's what happened. So no. I don't know why I spent all that time telling you about my dream, but that's the only dream I remember. No, that's the only other dream I remember. I remember a different one. That one's for a different time. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your workplace. I'm unemployed. I'm 16 and unemployed because I spend my time on my courses, on my schoolwork, and on YouTube. So, I mean, I get paid for YouTube. I have like $4 that I haven't been paid yet, because YouTube only pays you when you get $100. But that technically counts as being employed, right? $4 for like 6 months of work? Pretty sweet, right? So, I mean, I'd like to go out and do more live streams and meet you guys, but I don't think there are enough of you for me to really meet any of you, so, maybe some other time, but I don't get very active on YouTube other than my videos. I've only done like one live stream, which I owe you guys a 100 subscriber live stream that I haven't been doing, that I have to do now. I just remembered that. I don't know when I'll do that, because the time I put down a video for that, nobody responded with the time. I'll check that later, but I don't think anyone responded with the time. So please, go to that video and respond with a time, or this video, and respond with a time or a day that you think would be really good for a live stream. And I'll see if I can do that. It does not take, it does not take you much time. No, it takes me a bunch of time. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Yes, I'm more of a natural improviser. I'll improvise more than carefully plan things. I'll put myself here, because I do actually plan sometimes. And when I do, I plan carefully, but most of the time I just improvise. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Disagree. Well, I agree. It's one of the two. Because, I mean, I'm very good at controlling my emotions most of the time, but that leads, when you control your emotions the way I do, it leads to extreme emotions, and those are extremely hard to control. So it goes from, like, think of it like a box. If you pour something into a box, eventually the box is going to overflow. And if you pour out that box, it's filled up with all of the previous stuff in there. So more is going to come out than if you just never put it in the box in the first place. So that's the way I think of kind of like bottling up your emotions. You bottle them up, eventually they're going to explode, and all of them are going to come out at once. And that's usually how it works for me. But usually it comes out in the form of sadness rather than anger. Because that's how my mind works, and it's a self-punishing jerk. So, yeah, I mostly just bottle them up and control them until they burst out into either sadness or something else. So I actually control them more. I control them more than they control me, but they can control me. I'm not saying I'm immune to control of my emotions, but I'm more likely to control my emotions than I am to be controlled by them. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or roleplay activities. I think that'd be really fun, but I feel like it would also be very awkward, because I'd have no idea what to do there. Enjoy social events that involve dress-up or roleplay? I mean, I'd like to dress up as a knight and go fight other people at nights and stuff, and roleplay and stuff. That sounds fun, like a LARP or something. Wait, what's a LARP? Live action roleplay? That sounds fun. Yeah. Especially since I have training in, especially like sword fighting or combat, because I have 3 years of judo, about 6 months of jujitsu, which I'm taking a quick break from, and then I'll be going back to it this summer. I also have 3 months of fencing training, which means, no, 3 or 4. 4 months of fencing training. So not a whole lot to the point where I'm going to be fencing with, like, the best. But I did get to intermediate levels, so anyone who's not trained with the sword is at a disadvantage when fighting me. What else did I train in? I think I took one karate class. It was kind of stupid. Karate lame. Don't get offended, karate kids. I know you can kick my butt, but I mean, or at least you can try. Oh, call out. But still, yeah. That's kind of just how it works with me. Yeah. So I think it'd be really cool to go, but I also think I'd be extremely socially awkward. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Yes. All the time. I will spend way too much time thinking about something that's unrealistic and impractical and coming up with this great theory for it. Even though I can't implement it, I mean, it's pretty cool when I do. It is pretty cool and it's very intriguing. Would you rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan? Yes, I would rather improvise, because coming up with a detailed plan means planning and blah, 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 blah. Except when it comes to school. Then you need a plan rather than improvisation. So I'm gonna go here. Yeah, because school, if I improvised on school, that would be where my opinion is, but I don't. So, yeah, next page. You are a relatively reserved... Yes, I'm a very much relatively reserved and quiet person. Wait, no. No, I'm not. I'm actually quite loud and annoying. It depends on the size of the group again. If I'm in a big group, I'm going to be quieter. If I'm in a medium group, a little bit louder, but still mostly quiet. But if I'm in a small group, I am the loudest person in the room. And the least reserved person as well. So, I'm going to go with here, especially online and stuff like this. I become a little bit less reserved than I would be in, like, real life. And we'll see. I want to do this same test in, like, a year from now. And see the differences. See if I'm still mostly the same person, or see if a year of YouTube and school and life have happened, what's really changed in me. Because I know if I took this 2 years ago and I just continued on from there, I think it'd be just a really fun thing to do once a year. Maybe on my birthday next year. We could do it on my... Oh, 18th. Wow. I'm turning 17 this year. I'm so old. Dang. All you 20-year-olds out there who watch this are, like, cringing, like, he's so young, and he's calling himself old, it's so pathetic, and I'm like, okay, good for you. It's old for me, alright? Old can be subjective. Old is a subjective subject. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Yeah, if they're loyal, I'd probably have a hard time. If they were like those just underperforming lame people who don't give a crap, probably still find it a little difficult, but not extremely. So I would to this degree. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. I used to a lot. Now I really don't, because I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect me that much. I mean, I kind of already know. I found my reason. It's the Bible and God. But that's not necessarily the reason for everyone, so I already know my reason. Let's see what other people's reasons I don't need to contemplate. So, human existence, no, my existence pretty much, but I mean, I'd have to say contemplate human existence. Yeah, I do spend time. I do spend time on that. Not a lot, but a good bit. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making decisions. No, actually, because I believe in... Again, this comes to my beliefs, which you don't have to agree with. You don't even have to like them. They're just what I believe. Heart is an important decision. I mean, yeah, logic is important, but heart is very important when you're making a decision. Because if you're going to make a decision on what you're going to do, you're going to be miserable if you just use logic. And just using logic makes me not make decisions. I over-logic things that should be easy decisions. And you can over-logic things. It's a thing that can happen. So yeah, logic is important, but not as important as the heart. In my opinion. Or maybe it should be the other way around. Logic is a little bit more important, but the heart... No, the heart's more important in my opinion, because I think the heart and God can push you through your heart to do things that you wouldn't do logically. Because it can make you grow as a person following your heart, rather than just saying, okay, this is stupid, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I don't know. Crap that. You didn't see that. That was censored. Logic is usually more important than the heart. Wait, I already did that. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. I do like having my options open, but I like having a to-do list too. So, I usually keep my options open, but having a to-do list... Actually, no. I have a to-do list, and I like to do them in my own time. Which leaves me with open options. I like to have a to-do list, and have something to do, and then do them when I can, and when I feel like it. Like this, a YouTube video was on my to-do list, and I found the time to do it, and I'm doing it now. I have a deadline, but I can do whatever I'm doing whenever I want to do it. It gives me a more flexible time frame to do things. Have a to-do list. Yes, I think it's important to have a to-do list. Actually, I think it's very important to have a to-do list, but the way I have a to-do list works that I still have options open. So, yeah, it's weird. If your friend is sad about something, you're more likely to offer emotional support than ways to deal with the problem. No, I'm more likely to say, here are the ways that you can fix the problem. Like, I'm not very good at emotional support. I'm more likely to be like, that's where me and my sister differ. She's more likely to give you a huge amount of emotional support and almost no logical support. And I'm more likely to give you emotional support, but with logical reason and in a loving way that shows you, I'm here for you, but here are the options that I think would be best for you. So I'm a problem solver who gives a little bit of emotional support. So that's why I'm not saying, okay, this is how you gotta fix it, and you're being bombastic. No. I think here. Because when I'm trying to support someone or make them feel better, I usually do it by saying, here are some of the things that you can do that I think you can do, because I care about you and what you think and what I think you should do. That's just how it works. I try to offer problem solving. Usually, though, I find that people are looking for emotional support so that they can feel correct about what they're doing, which I don't agree with. I don't think you should enable people in their wrong thinking by providing emotional support on something that they're incorrect on. Of course, incorrectness can be subjective, so you should do it in a loving way that leaves both options open. You rarely feel insecure. Oops. Wait, what just happened? Hello? Okay, there we are. I bumped my volume there. I rarely feel insecure. Can you still see me down here? I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel insecure all that much. I really don't. Insecure in what, though? In the way I look, I feel insecure because, well, I mean, look at me. But feel insecure in who I am? Very rarely. I'm very secure with who I am and what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm gonna put myself here because the way I look and the way I act around other people, I'm insecure on because I'm an introvert and I don't spend a whole lot of time around people. So, I feel insecure in those situations, but I don't feel insecure with myself and who I am. You have no difficulties coming up with personal timetable and sticking to it. Disagree. I have terrible timing. I need a timetable either made up for me or something because I suck with keeping that. I'm awful. Being right is more important than you to being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. No. Teamwork, being right and teamwork don't go together. Being right in teamwork, that's like argument. You're like, I'm right, you're wrong. It doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Teamwork, you need to be cooperative so that you can get something accomplished. That's what a discussion is. It's a cooperative team effort between you and the opposing side to get some kind of conclusion out of your discussion that either satisfies or clarifies what the two of you are talking about. So, I very much disagree with that. I don't think being right is extremely important. Well, no, because being right doesn't matter a whole lot to me. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm 100% willing to be wrong. I think it'd be cool to have an argument, realize I'm wrong, and be able to change, because that is an important ability. Seeing that you're wrong and then changing the way you act, I think is a very important ability that everyone should have, but most people don't, because people don't like to see what's wrong about them. They prefer to feel right. So if you think you're right and you're constantly trying to be right, you're never going to see yourself as wrong and never be able to change. So you need to be willing to see yourself as completely and utterly incorrect to be able to change your opinion. And that's something that I'm working on with a couple of my opinions. And it's very important to be able to do that, in my opinion. In my opinion. Opinion. Let's continue. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Yes. I think because I don't have a whole lot of facts to support what I believe, I just have my faith and my experiences. I very much think that, I don't think that people should respect what I do, but because I want people to respect what I do, I want to respect what others think, even if they're not supported. I want to respect what they think, but if I think they're incorrect, I'm going to talk to them respectfully. So, I think everyone should be respected in what they believe, even if I disagree. I should still be able to look the person in the face and give them a handshake, even if I disagree with them. You feel more energetic? No. No. After spending time with a group of people. Absolutely not. I am drained past all heck when I spend time with people. Just yesterday, again, I spent all morning through the afternoon talking with people and being out with people. I got home and I was like, I need sleep. I need to be alone. And then I had to go out again and my mood was awful because I used up all of my energy that morning. So, I mean, ugh. Do you frequently misplace your things? No, I have pockets. And as I touch my pockets, I realize, where's my phone? It's right there. I think just by the fact that I can't currently find my phone, that I'm going to have to put with yes. I frequently misplace things. I actually did not plan that. That's what I'm going to be doing after this video. I'm going to be searching for my phone. Okay, let's continue here. You see yourself as very emotionally stable, yes. I see myself as emotionally stable. No, here. Here. Here, and here, here. I'm emotionally stable most of the time. Nah, never mind. I'm gonna put myself here. I'm not emotionally stable. I can go from extremely happy to extremely sad to from just extremely happy to worried or sad or anything, so I'm very bipolar in that way. Your mind is always buzzing. No. I have to think up those ideas. Ideas in... here. Yeah, because I'll find something I want to make a plan for, and I'll make an unexplored and an idea, and I want to go try it out, even if it doesn't work. Would you call yourself... Would you not call yourself a dreamer? How is... Wouldn't it be simpler if you said, would you call yourself a dreamer? Then you could say yes or no, but would you not call yourself a dreamer? What? What does that even mean? Would you not call yourself a dreamer? That doesn't make sense. Not call yourself a dreamer. Okay. I'm gonna answer this as if this says, are you a dreamer? Are you a dreamer? This is yes and this is no. I would put myself here. I am a dreamer. So yeah, that's a stupidly worded question. I hate those. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. No, I'm actually pretty relaxed when I'm talking in front of a bunch of people. I mean, it drains my energy, but I'm usually fairly relaxed when I do it. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. You rely more on your experience than your... No. I think it's about neutral, honestly. That's something... More on experience or imagination. I think imagination. Just a little bit more on the imagination. You worry too much what other people think. Not really, no. Actually, yes, I do worry too much about what other people think. But that's only when it comes to my friends. When it's about some random person that doesn't talk to me, I'm like, if it's some random person that comments on one of my videos and says, you know, you suck, I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that's your opinion. But if it's someone who's my friend, and I'm worried that or someone that I call my friend, and then they betray me, yeah, I'm gonna think too much about what they think about me. Or if it's someone who's kind of a friend who isn't really a friend to you, then I'm gonna worry about what they think. I do that too often. Okay, if the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Yes, I do, because I like the walls. They're my friends, and they keep me safe from behind, so that if anyone's going to attack me, I know exactly where it's from. It's going to be from the right, the left, or in front of me, and that way, it leaves behind me safe. You have a tendency to procrastinate, yes. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. No. I'm very relaxed in stressful situations. It's just something that I do. I usually feel anxious for no reason. I get anxiety attacks that are just like, not like extreme anxiety attacks, you know, like throwing up and stuff, or I usually just all of a sudden I'll find myself extremely anxious, like my heart is racing for no reason, and I'm just worried. For no good reason. It's ridiculous. And then in stressful situations I'm like, whatever, you know. Whatever. Taking the ACT, whatever. Taking the driving test, whatever. I'm a little bit anxious, but not very. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked than to be powerful. Yes. Actually, I'd rather be liked than be powerful, because, well, how powerful can you really get? Not very powerful, honestly. You have been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Books, art. Unconventional? I mean, I like books a lot. I like to read because, I mean, people who go to public school... People who go to public school are forced to read. As a homeschooler, I was never forced to read. You know, maybe like 1 or 2 books, but I mean, my mom always read those to me. I was never really forced to read, so reading became something that I do when I didn't have any video games or I didn't have any TV to watch. So it became an enjoyment as opposed to a necessity. So I like going to reading things. I like reading things that I want to read. And I actually enjoy finding books that I like science fiction. Or, mostly I like fantasy books. You know, for all my anime friends out there, it's a lot like a good cartoon, except with a lot more words and a lot less kamehamehas. You often take initiative in social situations. Not really, no. I'm more likely to... Depends on the size of group, actually. If it's a small group, I'm likely to take initiative and try to be funny and try to lighten everyone's mood. If it's a big group, I'm more likely to be that guy sitting in the corner doing odd stretches. Which sounds weird, but it's actually me. So, yeah. Let's see what my results are. You're a mediator. Mostly introverted. I actually like this. I did this test before, like, a few months ago, and it was different, which is actually surprising. So let's see. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. I am very introverted, 65% so. So yeah, that's actually quite true. This trait shows how we direct our energy, more intuitive. Yeah, I mean, I'd say I do things more on a feeling base than on a logical, observant base, but that doesn't mean my intuitiveness isn't weighted with logic. It's just more likely that I start my thinking process like that. More feeling than thinking, yeah, I could definitely say that. I think a lot, and I think about things logically a lot as a pastime, but when it comes to things that I have to do, I'm more likely to have a feeling way of approaching things. And to work, planning, and decision making. Prospecting, yeah. Not very good at making exactly stuff. Wow. Straight down split between assertive and turbulent. I mean, I can't believe I have that much turbulence, but I mean, I can agree with that. What does this say? Start reading. How much? That's a lot to read. I think I'll read a few, like, the more important things. So, I'm gonna go ahead and read this all and then probably cut it up. So let's get right into this. Mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good, even in the worst of people and events. Yeah, that's actually me. Searching for ways to make things better. Yeah, that's something that I'd like to do. While they may be perceived as calm, reserved, or even shy, meteors have an inner flame of passion that can truly shine. Yeah, that's me. Compromising just 4% of the population, the risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type. Actually, yeah, that's me also. I'm very much worried that people are going to misunderstand what I'm saying. But when they find like-minded people to spend their time with, the harmony... That's true. Like, when I find a few, like... But if it's really just 4%, how the heck am I supposed to find people who think like me? Like, I've had a really hard time finding the few people that I talk to. It's ridiculous. I mean, if it's 4%, what's 4%? Let's get a calculator out here. I gotta see this. If it's 7... That's 7,000. That's 7 million. That's 7 billion divided by... No, multiplied by... 4% is 0.04 equals. There's no way there's 4%. Did I do it wrong? Yeah, I think that's 28 million. Did I do that wrong? Billion and times it by 0.04. Yeah. There are 280 million people, which is under a billion, which means under 1/7 of the population. So there are actually relatively few people who are like me, but a lot more than I thought. It'd be really nice to find some more of those people, because I really enjoy talking to other mediator types. Being a part of the diplomat role group, mediators are guided by their principles rather than by logic. Yeah. Excitement or logic analysts. Yeah, I'm not an analyst. Explorers, no. Sentinels, I don't know. I don't know what the Sentinel ideas are, but when deciding how to move forward, they will look to honor, beauty, morality, and virtue. Mediators are led by purity of their intent, not rewards or punishments. Actually, yes. I mean, that sounds weird and, like, self-centered to say, but, I mean, I just do things nice for the sake of doing them, because I think that's what God would want me to do, and that's my motivation, as opposed to a reward or a punishment, because those are the stupid ways to make things work. I mean, that's classical conditioning, and we all know classical conditioning only fixes the outside. It doesn't fix who people are on the inside. People who share the mediator personality type are proud of this quality, and rightly so, but not everyone understands the drive behind these feelings, and it can lead to isolation. Yeah, I'm very isolated. People don't like to talk to me. All that is gold does not glitter, not all is wither deep roots. J.R. Tolkien. Mediators have a talent for self-expression, revealing their beauty and secrets through metaphors and fictional characters. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Anytime I play like a role-playing game, I usually make part of who I would be in that, or metaphors and stuff, yeah. Actually, yeah, this is very accurate to me. I am actually surprised. Mediators you might know: William Shakespeare, J.R. Tolkien, Johnny Depp. That's cool, except I don't wear that much eyeliner. I don't know who. I know that name. I don't know this person. Johnny Depp, really? William Shakespeare and J.R. Tolkien? Strengths and weaknesses. I gotta see this. Idealistic. Seek value and harmony. Wait. Too idealistic. Idealism too far, setting themselves up for disappointment again and again, even that. Yeah. Too altruistic. Mediators sometimes see themselves as selfish, but only because they want to give so much more than they're able to. Totally not me. Oh, frick, yeah. That is me right here, too altruistic. I was in a horrible one-sided relationship with a friend of mine, or a friend of mine, and I was putting way more into the friendship than they were, and it was awful, and I ended up really hurting myself in that. So if I'd been more practical, I probably would have been able to realize, get the frick out of there. Impractical, no. I'm not impractical. When something captures the mediator's imagination, they can neglect practical matters like day-to-day maintenance and simple pleasures. Sometimes people with mediators will take this so far as to neglect eating or drinking as they pursue their passion or cause. Well, I mean, this doesn't mean I'm impractical. I think impractical this is a different definition of impractical than being practical in the way that I am. Like, oh wow, it's 3 o'clock, really? Have I spent an hour recording this? Dislike dealing with data. Yes, I really don't like dealing with data. Take things personally. Challenges and criticisms personally rather than inspiration. Actually, no. Avoiding conflict as much as possible. Mediators will put a great deal of time and energy into trying to align their principles and criticisms into a middle ground that satisfies it. Never mind. Yeah, that's me. Except taking things personally, that's not what they say here. It's not the best worded, but this thing is pretty good. Difficult to get to know. Mediators are private, reserved, and self-conscious. This makes them notoriously difficult to really get to know, and their need for these qualities contribute to the guilt they often feel for not giving more of themselves to those they care about. I mean, I don't see most of these as real weaknesses, but yeah, I mean, that's me. Seek and value harmony, open-minded and flexible, yeah. Very creative? Really? Creative? Well, unconventional perspectives, yeah. Far-flung dots to a single theme. It's no wonder how many meteors. Celebrated poets and authors. Actually, again, very creative. Doesn't say the same thing right here. Very creative. I don't have the ability to create many ideas, like original ideas, but this is something I can do. These two meanings do not mean the same thing in my mind. Passionate and energetic? Okay, yeah. Their shyness keeps them from the podium, but they're first to lend helping hands where it's yeah, that's me. Dedicated and hardworking, focusing challenges, going gets tough. Have the benefit of their far-reaching vision to help them through, knowing what they're... I mean, yeah, that's me, alright. I think that's all the time I want to spend on this. I could continue to maybe, like, the next page, which is romantic and stuff. Wait, what's after romantic? Because friendship. I could spend all the time I want to read this, and I probably will after this video, because this is actually quite interesting and very close to me. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and, oh yeah, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.